This is Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. And it reads, "Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies." Giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in his truth. I'm Pathakamoth, GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. I think I'm going to entitle this, "This captivity wasn't to destroy us," man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, us in the know, we now know that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent make up the 12 no longer lost tribes, the true biblical Israelites that are no longer lost in these times, man, because we know who we are, man. You know what I'm saying? We know who we are. We know who our enemies are. You know what I'm saying? All 17 other nations outside of the nation of Israel are your enemies, man. And you have 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which we call Jakes, you know, because they go back, that's short for Jacob. We go back to our forefather Jacob. And they have no idea or clue as to what's going on, man. You know, they don't realize that they have enemies, man. You know, but as I just read, Baruch 4 and 6, ye were sold to the nations, man, which that happened. You know what I'm saying? We were sold to the nations and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth during the time of the transatlantic slave trade, which started in 1492 with the northern kingdom, the northern tribes, the Hispanics and Native Americans, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says you were sold to the nations. And of course, to expound on that and expand on that, in the 1620s, 1619, 1620, the Southern Kingdom got taken from the western coastline of Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? Which are the so-called Negroid tribes of the nation of Israel, man. So that whole from 1492 all the way to the 1600s, and further on, you know, went into the transatlantic slave trade. So the transatlantic slave trade started back in 1492 with the Northern Kingdom. They went into captivity first, man. You know what I'm saying? Before the Southern Kingdom. These things are not taught in the school curriculum, though. You know, that's why the so-called Native Americans, a lot of them, and a lot of the Hispanics have no clue, man, as to who they actually truly are, man. They look at the so-called Negroes and you know, and slavery and all that, but don't realize themselves that, hell, they went into slavery too first, man, you know. So it says ye were sold, and that's the Lord did these things, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to go into it. Ye were sold to the nations, both northern and southern kingdom, you know, the nation of Israel, you know, not just the southern kingdom, not for your destruction. So it wasn't for your destruction, man. It wasn't to destroy you. So why did the Lord do it, man? He's going to go into it. It says, but because ye moved the Most High, your power, man. The Most High is the power of Israel. Joel 2 and 27, man. He tells you that he's in the midst of Israel and he's your God and none else, man. You know what I'm saying? If you've never read that, go to Joel 2 and 27 and read that, man, for yourself. He tells you clearly he's the God of the Israelites and he's not the God of any other nation. Although he created 18 nations, man. He chose a nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 44 and 1, he chose Jacob, his servant, in Israel, his chosen, man. It says that. Isaiah 44 and 1. You know what I'm saying? It says, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, man. We moved the Most High to wrath, man, and made him want to whoop our ass, man, destroy us. Not literally destroy us, but, you know, teach us a good lesson, man. And why did he do that? You know? Ye were delivered unto the enemies. So you were delivered unto your enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? Not your friends. Jake don't understand that they have enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? And all 17 other created nations outside of the nation of Israel, you know, are the enemies of the Israelites, man. But primarily these devils, the Edomites, man, who go back to their forefather Esau. You know what I'm saying? Which in these times are the so-called white man, woman, and child, man. You know, those are your main primary enemies, man. Although all 17 other nations outside of the nation of Israel are your actual enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says we were delivered to them, man. But why, man? Well, I previously read it, because you moved the Most High to wrath. You know what I'm saying? And how did we do that, man? How did the nation of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, move the Most High to wrath? You know, well, it's gonna go into it. Let's read the next verse. It's verse 7. It says, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. So as usual, idol worship, man. You know what I'm saying? Idol worship has been the problem for Jake forever and a day, and it's still to this very day. You know what I'm saying? They're still doing these things, man. You know, it's still a problem. You know what I'm saying? Jake just takes the idols. They take the idol worship, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they're still doing it to this very day, man. You know, in the forms of this dude's, this devil's churches and religious sects, man. You know, Christianity, Catholicism, which is one and the same, Egyptology, Islam, Buddhism, you know, etc. You know, everything that Jake is caught up in, but the right thing, man. You know, they don't want to deal with the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? Which we understand. You know, we get that. Isaiah 6 and 9. You know, these people, Jake, the majority of our nation can't get it, man, because like the scriptures say in Isaiah 6 and 9, they were blinded, man. Though they see, they can't perceive. Though they hear, they can't understand, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because why? This thing is predestination. You know, pre-chosen from the foundation of the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Those predestinated chosen vessels. You know what I'm saying? Ephesians 1 and verse 3 and 4, man. You know what I'm saying? Goes into that. Romans the 8th chapter, starting around verse 28. You know what I'm saying? Predestination, man. You know, the Lord chose before he created anything, those vessels he was gonna save and who was gonna be able to get this, man. You know what I'm saying? And that excluded the entire nation, man. The 2/3 of it's not dealing with the entire nation, and it excludes 2/3, which is the majority of the nation, man. You know, Zechariah 13 and 8 has to come to pass. You know, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. The 2/3 are still sacrificing unto devils to this very day, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to stop until they're destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? So we moved the Most High to wrath, man. But he didn't do it to destroy us, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you go into that whole thing with the destruction of the nation of Israel, what did the Lord do? Which he warned us. It goes, all these things go back to the curses. So let's real quick, let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, because when you deal with Deuteronomy 28, that whole chapter, verse 1 through 68, 1 through 14 is dealing with heaven, your heaven, and 15 through 68 is dealing with hell, man. You know what I'm saying? That's heaven and hell in a nutshell. All y'all do is read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 68, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it real quick. Let's go. Salakia, man. This boy every time never fails. Deuteronomy 28. And let me take the NLT off. Salakia. So this is Deuteronomy 28, and we're gonna drop down to verse 15. This is why, you know, the Lord warned us, man. You know, and we didn't listen, man. So we moved the Lord to wrath, man. You know, by idol worship, because he warned us right here. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15, going into the curses. You know, because, well, let me just jump up. When you read in the first verse, it says, and if it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be set on high over all these nations, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it goes into all the various blessings, you know, all the way down to verse 14. You know what I'm saying? Good things. But this is what actually happened to the nation of Israel. It says, because we didn't hearken, we didn't listen, man. You know, but it shall come, verse 15, Deuteronomy 28 and 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, man. You know, and then it goes into all the way down to verse 68. It goes through the various curses, which we're going to read a few things, a couple of things that you know, that pertains to what this lesson, man. You know what I'm saying? So Jake, the Lord warned Jake, if they didn't hearken to the commandments, you know, that they were going to be destroyed, man. You know, these curses are going to overtake them, man. Which Jake didn't listen, man, because Jake is hard-headed, stiff-necked, uncircumcised, stiff-necked, hard-headed people, man. You know what I'm saying? Which that's how we know the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are definitely those people, man. Very hard-headed, man. Stiff-necked. You can't tell them anything, man. You know, bull-headed. You know, all those different terms for you know, hard-headed, bull-headed, you know. That's Jake all day, man. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord warned him right here, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't hearken, do my commandments. So did the Lord tell them to go off and to idol worship? No, man. He said, have no other gods before him. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. That was a commandment, man. That's in the law. Which this is the law as well. Deuteronomy is the second law, man. The book of Deuteronomy. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, hard-headed Jake. So what happened, man? As a matter of fact, let's read this in Jeremiah 17:4 real quick. Because the Lord said what was going to happen if we didn't hearken, man. This is Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. He was going to destroy us. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. So we're going to discontinue from our heritage, man, that the Lord gave us. You know what I'm saying? Which the heritage consists of what, man? The possessions, man. The land. Our us being Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The names of our power. You know what I'm saying? Everything was taken from us, man. Was stripped from us. So the Lord set it up to where we were going to discontinue from our heritage, man. And we got kicked out of the land. You know what I'm saying? That happened, man. Going all the way back to Titus and Vespasian, man. When they went through and ransacked Jerusalem, Israel, and we had to flee into the, of course we fled all different ways, but the majority of us fled into the interiors of Africa, trying to survive, from being put to death, by these damn Caesars, them damn Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying? And we end up going different ways into Africa, but primarily settled on the western coastline of Africa, man. Which is where the southern kingdom was picked up from, man. The predominantly of the southern kingdom were picked up from the southern the western coastline of Africa, man. That's why we were even in Africa in the first place, fleeing Roman persecution, man. So it goes on to say, and thou even thyself, Jeremiah 17:4, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee, make thee to serve thine enemies. Hello, again with the enemies in the land which thou knowest not. When we got scattered into all four corners of the earth, man, we knew our homeland. Jerusalem, Israel, man. So we got taken to places we didn't know, man, primarily here in America. It says, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So that's that wrath, man, that we just read in Baruch 4, man. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord warned us in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that if we didn't hearken, these things were going to happen. He was going to take our heritage and he was going to destroy us, man. So I'll read it one more time, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, which that came to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, listen here unto the voice of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, things written in this Bible, the laws, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And one of those things was the scattering of our people, man. So let's drop down real quick, because we got scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man, from one end of heaven to the other, among all nations of people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it said he didn't deliver us to the nations for our destruction, man, in Baruch 4 and 6, man. Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people. Among all people. Israel has been scattered among all people. You know what I'm saying? This is what you got to understand, about this whole Gentile thing, man. We got scattered among all people. You know what I'm saying? And Jake became Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? So the Gentiles in the New Testament is talking about Israelites, man. Those are the people, those scattered, those Gentiles. That's the in Romans, the 11th chapter. That olive tree, that's going to be grafted back in. That's what it's talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking about the other nations, man. The Lord is not with the other nations. As a matter of fact, just real quick, we're going to come back. Let me just show you how the Lord feels about these other nations real quick. I'm not going to harp on this. I'm not going to get too far off the lesson, but I just want to bring this point real quick. It's Isaiah 40 and 15. This is how the Lord feels about the nations. So he's not talking about the nations, man. Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, The nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as a small dust of a balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So there is a drop of a bucket, man. If you got a bucket of water and you just take a drop of that, if that drop of water is, you about to wash your car and that a drop of water falls out a whole bucket of water, you're not worried about that drop. You're going to keep going. You're going to do what you're going to do. You're not going to even acknowledge that drop that came out. So that's how the Lord feels about these nations, man. They're as a drop of a bucket, man. And are counted as the small dust of a balance, man. Dust is disgusting, man. You know what I'm saying? What do you do to dust? You dust, you swipe it away, man. Try to get rid of it. Ew. Dead skin particles. That's how the Lord feels about these nations. Disgusting, man. As a matter of fact, he's going to go further. Let me drop down to verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing. And vanity. Vanity means empty. So these nations are empty vessels, and they don't mean nothing to him. They're less than nothing to him. So the Lord don't give a damn about these nations, man. As a matter of fact, when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, around verse 55 or so, 56, somewhere in there, it goes into how they are as spittle, man. The nations are as spittle, which lines up perfectly with this scripture right here. It goes into the whole account of the drop of the bucket, and it goes a step further to say they are as spittle, man. Spit, which is disgusting as well. If you walking and you accidentally step in some spit, when somebody spit, you feel like that. You feel so dirty. I know I do. Yeah, I step in some spit. That's like, oh my God. You try to hurry up and get to some grass or something and wipe it off, or and it's on your shoe. It's not even didn't even touch your skin. You know what I'm saying? But even on your shoe, it's disgusting, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord feels about these nations. So stop, man. The Lord is not with these nations, man. Those are Israelites, man. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28, Salakia. Hopefully I didn't get too far off the topic and subject. But I just had to make that point, man, because you got a lot of, vocab Malone, a whole lot of bug outs out here, and Jake is running with them devils, man. These demons, man. But we get it. Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of Salakia, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, all four corners. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So in those places we were scattered, we weren't going to be serving the Lord, the Most High, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. We were going to be serving other gods, man. And for a period of time, we all were caught up in that madness. But, through the grace, of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the love that he has for his elect, he brought them out of that madness, man. Lord willing, I can be a part of it, So it says, he scattered us from the one end of the earth into the other among all people. And we were serving other gods. So all of these churches and religious, so-called religious sects, it's idols. It's idol worship, man. Which the Lord is going to destroy. So Jake is caught up in all manner of facets of factions of these religious sects, man. You know what I'm saying? And that wood represents Christianity, and the stone represents Islam, man, because that's predominantly what Jake is caught up in. Which Christianity and Catholicism are one and the same, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the wood. And then the stone is you got Christianity singing songs about a piece of wood, the wooden cross that the Lord was crucified on. I can name 3 songs off the top of my head right now. Kneel at the cross. At the cross where I first saw the light, and the burdens of the rolled away, burdens of my something rolled away. Kneel at the cross. Just a whole bunch of songs about the cross, man, the piece of wood. And I watched when I was in that church a damn fight. They broke out over the damn, because a lady set her purse on that damn wooden communion table, man. Like it's a damn wooden ass communion table. It's a table, man. It's wood. But these things are sacred to these people. So it becomes an idol. You know what I'm saying? And then the stone, the Islam, they pray to a goddamn piece of stone, man, a cobblestone down in Mecca, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jake is caught up in. So, hey, the Lord is going to deal, man. So what happened? Let's drop down to verse 68, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt again. And that spiritual Egypt, it says again into Egypt. Where's the account that the nation of Israel went into a second slavery or captivity in the land, physical land of Egypt? You know, I'll wait if somebody, because yeah, there is no second account. But it's saying right here in Deuteronomy 28 and 68 in Old Testament, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. So there is no biblical account in the Bible that you can show me a second captivity that Israel went into captivity in the land of the physical land of Egypt. But there is a second captivity in the spiritual land of Egypt, which is America in these times. When you read in Revelation, the 11th chapter and verse 8, it goes into that great city spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, which when you look on the back of your dollar bill, what do you see? Egyptian pyramids. When you look up in Washington, D.C. and on the yard of the national, what is that? The monument or whatever that crap is, you see an Egyptian obelisk. This is spiritual Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what does these entertainers, especially I notice Jay-Z does it a lot when he does that thing over his eye. It's a triangle, man, like a pyramid. When he does it over the one eye, which is left hand crop. But the point is, symbolization. It's symbology that it symbolizes those things, man. This is spiritual Egypt. It's everywhere here. They've taken all of the ways and things of Egypt. Bowling and makeup and all these things that goes back to Egypt, man. Beer, all that stuff comes from Egypt, which is here, man. So this is that Egypt all over again. That spiritual Egypt, that great city. We know what the great city is. This is the place that everybody wants to come. And their mama, daddy, and children. Everybody wants to get out of those third world countries and different places and those other lands that want to come to America, because America has been built up to be that place that you let's go there because we can get rich. We can make our dreams come true. That's a great city. That would be considered a great city. So that's talking about America, man. You know what I'm saying? So Revelations 11 and 8 is that Egypt that this is talking about. Spiritual Egypt, which is AKA America, man. Spiritual Babylon as well, man. This place has a lot of, code names, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And that happened, man. We got bought to America. We got scattered all throughout the four corners of the earth, but primarily here to the Americas, on cargo slave ships, man. During the time of the transatlantic slave trade, which started in 1492, man. Let's not get it twisted. It didn't start in the 1600s. It started in the latter 1400s. And it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And that's talking about our homeland. The Israelites wasn't going to see their homeland again until the Lord got ready for it to make that happen. Which that to this very day, it stands firm, man. We're still scattered. So that disproves those people over in the land of being the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Those are some fakes. They got put in the land by way of the Balfour Declaration. Them 1948ers, them small hatters, man. They're not the people of the Lord. It says, so that thou shalt see it no more again. And the true people haven't seen the homeland, their homeland of Israel. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, those places that you're going to be scattered. Auctioning blocks, man, that happened. But then you'll have people try to say this ain't talking about that. No, it is talking about that, man. Something as big as this event on the earth wouldn't be recorded in the Bible. Stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Wicked. These people are wicked, man. Anybody trying to say that's not what this is talking about is just wicked, and the Lord gonna kill you, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, ye shall, and there, in those places you were sold, ye shall be sold, America and everybody where we've been scattered, Salakia. Ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Your enemies, that's all these scriptures I've been bringing out have been saying your enemies, man. Not your friend. Jake has a misconception of who's their friend and who's their enemies, man. They think these nations is primarily their what's that called? Their that primary and I can't think of the word that I want to use, but that primary enemy, you know, is their friend, man. Esau. It's your enemy, man. Who were you sold to? You were sold to Edomites, so-called white people, man. So it says, ye shall be sold to your enemies. So they're your enemies, man. For bondmen, slave men, and bond women, slave women. And no man shall buy you, redeem you, man. And they've tried, man. You've had all manner of, Malcolm X and, Martin Lucifer Queen, which of course he was a set up damn agent. The Black Wall Street, the Black Panther Party. None of that crap worked, man. Jake always trying to save themselves, and it never worked. Why? Because of this, what we just read. And no man shall buy you, redeem you, when you go into that word buy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's going into, man. You know? But let's look on the bright side of that thing, man. You know, we got everything coming to us, man. We got the kingdom of heaven coming. You know what I'm saying? So again, the Lord didn't put us into captivity to destroy us, man. Because let's read this real quick. This is Luke 12:32. It says, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, man. That's what we have to look forward to. So he didn't put us into captivity to be destroyed, man. It's just because we went off. We moved the Most High to wrath by sacrificing the devils, man. Idol worship. You know, we were going to pay our price for doing so. And then this is the outcome, you know, afterwards, because the scriptures tell you in Isaiah the 10th chapter that the remnant was going to return, you know, back to their heritage, back to those ways. You know, thus said the Lord. You know, and what did the Lord say in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1? If we hearken, he was going to put us above the nations, man. You know what I'm saying? Set us on high. So that's what we're looking for, because this thing was set up for both. As a matter of fact, before I finish this, let's real quick. Let's go to that. Deuteronomy 30 and verse 1. This Deuteronomy 30 and 1, and it reads, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai thy power hath driven thee. So it was set up for both, man. You know, the blessing and the curse. So it was set up to go through both, man. You know. So when those blessings in Genesis the 27th chapter were given, you know, Jacob and Esau received a blessing. Hebrews 11th chapter and verse 20 reiterates it. You know. And Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So that first blessing, which was a temporary blessing to the Edomites, because their forefather cried, Esau cried, you know, put him in rulership for a period of time, which was going to put us in captivity for a period of time, you know. But now everything, all of these things right here are happening because it was set up to go through both. They got their blessing. We got our curse. Now everything, let's jump down to verse 7, is about to flip. You know, Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and Yahweh Bashem Shai by thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So now everything is about to flip, and the curses they've been in their heaven. You know, Deuteronomy 28 and 1 through 14. And we've been in 15 through 68. Now everything is finna flip. They're finna go into 15 through 68. And we're about to go through 1 through 14, man. You know what I'm saying? But why? Because we just read it in verse 1. It was set up for the blessing and the curse, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're at the end of our calamities. The end of our punishment, man. So let's go back to Luke, the 12th chapter. So this is what we have, again, coming to us, man. Luke 12 and 32, fear not, little flock, Israelites, beginning starting with the elect, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, man. It's the good pleasure of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to give us the kingdom, man. This is red letters Yahweh Shai is speaking, man. You know, so if it's the good pleasure of the Lord, that's what's up, man. You know, that's everything. You know, it's his good pleasure to give it to us, man. The Lord wants us to have the kingdom, but the remnant had to return. We had to get to to Deuteronomy 28:1, man, hearkening unto the voice of the Lord, man. So he didn't put us in these captivities to destroy us, man, but to teach us a valuable lesson, man. You know what I'm saying? Which we've learned, which is going to lead into this right here, Matthew 24 and verse 31. This is coming, man. And it reads, Matthew 24:31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, because we were scattered from one end to the other. We read that in Deuteronomy 28 and 64, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he was going to scatter the Israelites for going off. We didn't hearken to his word, and he was going to scatter us among these nations, man. You know what I'm saying? Which goes back to the very first scripture that I brought out, which I'll end it with that. You know, let me get that one last time. We'll end it on that. This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies, man. So we were sold to these nations because, as a matter of fact, there's one more. Salakia, I got one more, because these nations are going to know. What's that? Ezekiel 39 and 28. Is it? These nations are going to know that that's what it was, man. Is it Ezekiel? Let me try Ezekiel real quick. I think it's Ezekiel 39 and 28, if I'm not mistaken. It may not be it. This is a good one. I don't know if this is it. Let me see. Ezekiel 39 and 28. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land and have left none of them anymore there. So boom, that's, I don't think that's the one that I was actually looking for, but that was a good one. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one, man. So, hey, we'll end it on that right there, man. Hey, it's going to be known, man, that we went in. As a matter of fact, what is that? We went into captivity for. Let me try to type it in, because that's really bothering me. Salakia, Salakia Akim, you know. There it is, Ezekiel. Oh, it was 39. Just had to drop down a couple of verses. I'm talking Salakia up. Up to verse 23. I went down to 28. So Ezekiel 39 and 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. We read that because we moved the Most High to wrath, sacrificing to idols, man, to devils. It says, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel, which is the whole nation, went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. It's always enemies. So fell they all by the sword. And that's what's happened, man. That's what happened right there. The Lord gave us into the hand of our enemies for our iniquities, for trespass, for going off, man. These nations aren't stronger. Esau wasn't stronger than us, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on, man. This captivity wasn't to destroy us, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got some good things to look forward to, man. The kingdom of heaven. So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shah Dawadah, Shalom.